standing by. 3 flowers he gave to me, the pink, the blue, and the violet too, and the red, red rosy tree, and the red, red rosy tree. Forsook the red rose bush and gained the willow tree, that all the world may plainly see how my love slighted me, how my love slighted me. For a woman is a lofty tree, and a man's a clinging vine. From her branches carelessly he'll take what he can find. He'll take what he can find.
Hey everybody, this is Tom Mitchell, the Highland Traveler. I've ridden a four-wheeler back up in here onto some private property up above our cabin, and I'm going to spend the night. It's fall, obviously autumn. The trees, the forest is still not peaked. It's a weird year. Some stands are really nice and some still green, and it's the 1st of October. It's like October 3rd, 2nd, 3rd, something like that. I never know what day it is. You know, let me look. It's October 4th. I never know. Anyways, you saw the four-wheeling coming in here. That's just a very small clip of the terrain. Some of it was pretty rough. I was exploring around. I'm not that familiar with some of this back road area, and so there's one specific spot that I remember, and I couldn't find it, and I ended up having driven by it. Yet you really can only see what I was looking for when you're coming back the other way, but that whole grove is still green. So I've set up here in a little mixed forest. It's mostly fir trees right here. They're good to hang on with my hammock, and some nice quakies right across from me. I'm going to poke around and just look for stuff to photograph tonight, and get up early in the morning and poke around, and then head back to work. It's a weekday, but I'll run back to the cabin and shower up and change my clothes, and then drive out of here. So that's what I'm doing. I hope you enjoy this little episode about photographing fall colors. I just released one about that over in Colorado. I'm back here in Utah, and you know, some of the areas are just so beautiful right now. I couldn't resist. Plus, I've wanted to camp back in here for a long time. It took a while to find a camp spot I liked. Okay, I'm rambling. I need to make myself some food, eat, and then go photographing. So stay tuned. So there's a lot of black bear in this area. My brother-in-law was riding his UTV side-by-side right up this road up towards the top here, which isn't that far, and saw a sow and her cubs earlier this year. So you gotta be careful. I'm hanging my food, so let me show you this. So hanging your food is a good way to deal with it, or a bear can. I've got a bear can, I didn't bring it. So I've got my rope tied off there, comes down. I will hook my food bag to the rope right in the middle of it, and then hoist it up there on that tree, and then I'll get it up about, I think I can get it up about 8 or 10 feet, which is plenty high for a black bear. I know there's a lot of debate about hanging your food and stuff. A lot of people just don't, well, they don't bother. No, you don't need to do that. Yeah, hang it or have it in a bear bag or a bear can if you're in bear country, especially in an area like this where the bears are a little bit more habituated to people food. There's some dumpsters down the road that they like to dumpster dive in. They've made it so that they can't, but you just never know. So the other thing is squirrels. Squirrels and chipmunks will eat right through your backpack. Don't store your food in your backpack. They'll destroy a good backpack. So there's my little 2 cents. So this is for my tea. My food's ready. It's not cold yet here, but it's going to get chilly tonight. So let me show you what I'm doing. This is dried orange peel. We get a lot of the small, those little tangerine oranges, and just save the peels, just dry them, and they make a great tea base. Just take it, and you can break them up or just drop them in. Sometimes I'll crunch them up, but I'm just going to drop 3 in there and call that good. Let it sit for till it's cooled off enough to drink. As I've said before, put up a hammock right and you've got a great chair. I'm on a little bit of a hill here, but my feet are just touching the ground. So tonight I'm having Backpacker's Pantry. They don't sponsor anything, but this is the risotto with chicken. It's really good. So I'm going to sit here and eat my dinner. Seriously, if I can get the bag open. There we go. Ah, smell that. For dessert, I'm having a Quest protein bar. I really like these, actually. This is oatmeal chocolate chip. They're my favorite. You know, it's 200 calories. What I just had was, I think, 700. I haven't had anything to eat today at all, except for Slim Fast and a protein bar. So, and that's hard work driving a four-wheeler, man. Especially an old one like that. So let me show you my camp. As I about trip over sticks. So this is my superior gear. Hammock with the built-in underquilt and the older style bottom entry bug net, which I actually really love. I'm not a huge fan of zippers. I've got the Starlight hammock system too from Superior Gear, and I like it, but for cooler weather camping, this is my go-to. A lot of people ask about hammocks. So where do you put your backpack and gear? Well, right there. You just hang it from the suspension, and I'll have my camera bag hanging off that end. I haven't put up the tarp, and I'm not going to. There's no chance of rain, 0 chance of rain. I'll probably leave the bug net on, but I'm not going to put up the tarp. So this has a built-in underquilt for insulation. That's the underquilt right there, and it's built in, filled with down. And then I have a a top quilt, which is down filled, and it's my favorite color, of course, camouflage. And then I like my pillow. It's literally my pillow brand pillow. I've got a couple of inflatable pillows I'll put in here too for put them under my knees. So when I sleep on my side, because I'm a side sleeper. But yeah, it's pretty simple. And the thing about this, there's no fussing with an underquilt like you get with other hammock systems. You have to fit the underquilt on there, and you have to make sure it's nice and tight, or else you'll get airflow through it. So that's a little bit about my camping. And ridgeline bag. So this is one of the stuff sacks the stuff sack that the quilt came in, and they have things where you can just put your carabiners. Those are actually carabiners with their name brand on them with Superior, and then I'll stuff my wallet and stuff, you know, an extra jacket in that stuff sack. It'll be at the foot of my bed, and then if I need it, I can just reach down and grab it and slide it up and pull out what I need. You can see how pretty this is. Really nice fall leaves. And this is looking down. So I'm going to go get my camera gear and poke around here. It's about 5:30. Got about an hour before the sun sets. So the light's getting really good now, so I'm going to just go poke around a little bit and see if I can find any interesting forest to photograph looking down through some of these trees. So here I go. So here's a nice scene behind me. The sky's kind of washed out because the contrast range is pretty high, but I like it. I love perspective shots like this where I'm looking up or down something. See how it goes up and then it winds and you see it bending off the trees. You can see how blown out the sky is. Fall leaves will look best backlit. It'll be best once the sun goes down so that the sky isn't so blown, and then there's still light source coming from that way, but even direct light like this looks really good. Let me show you what I got. So here's what I just shot. You can see how dark the foreground is. My histogram, you can see, is mostly on the underexposed side. I don't think I've blown out the highlights. You can see a little spike there on the right, but it's not bad. So I like this. I'm looking at this glade right over in here. I'm going to go walk over in there. Go poke around in there for a minute.
Down in the willow garden where me and my true love did meet. It was there we went to court and my love fell off to sleep. I had a bottle of burgundy wine, my true love she did not know.
Yeah, I like this one. This has got some definite potential right here. In fact, I just saw another one that I like. What you're looking for is alleyways through the trees where you move just right, and the trees are aligned. It opens up and leaves like these lines. Alleyway is the best way to explain it. These little open areas where you can see through the forest to the stuff in back. And I mean, that's really just some of the best stuff you can do. So let me show you this. So standing here looking at this, you see how those trees are all in line with each other, and if you move just a few inches this way, it changes the perspective, or a few feet this way, it just changes it all. So you want to do that. You want to play with where you're standing and looking through areas. And even just a couple inches can make a big difference. But I also really like this spot right in here. And see the sun is right up there popping out of there, and I think I'm going to shoot this. I really like this with the sun coming through, so I'm going to grab my camera and do that. I really like this Ifootage tripod with this leveling base. You just twist that, get it level, you're good to go. This head also is a spectacular head. It's the oh my heck, I can't remember now. I'll put it on here. My mind just went blank. Made in America. This is a crazy good head. All you have is swing and tilt. So it's really nice. I like this tree in the foreground. This little aspen tree. Oh yeah, I like this. Now, if I move this way just a tiny bit, I can get, of course that threw off my level, but I can get that sun just peeking through the trees. Focusing, I'm going to want to focus about a third of the way back, I think. I need to overexpose this because of the sun there. And I'm going to stop this down to 22 so that I get nice sun star effect. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, I like that. I'm going to go to live view, and I'm going to zoom in to all the way in and check my focus. And yeah, that looks good. That's nice and sharp. So that's a trick. If you have live view on your camera, use that to check your focus. So the highlights are blown because of the sky. I'm going to underexpose this actually by 3 stops and see what I get. Okay, that's really underexposed. I'm going to go back 1. You really want to check the histogram. I show this in other ones. I'm still getting clipping in the blacks a little bit, but the whites are not blown out, and that I can work with. And see, what I'm seeing here is some perspective. There's a nice alley going down that way that I'm just barely getting, but you're getting like this alleys, and I like those green trees in the back. I like this one. I'm gonna go look around some more.
Her name was Rose Connolly. Stands at his cabin door, wiping his tear-dimmed eye and gazing on his own.
See, look at this. It's a little bit too busy for me. I'm seeing some cool stuff, but it's just a little bit too busy. The undergrowth is too thick. But this little grove right here, see, I like this. This is close. I mean, it's right off the road. A lot of times you'll find stuff that's right on the road. It's the best way to scout, because you can cover a lot of area quickly by driving. This is cleaner. The main bulk of the light is coming from behind, but the sun has gone down low enough. Let me look at this some more. Sometimes it's even fine to have the sun at your back, though I think the leaves look better when they're backlit. Now from this angle, that grove even looks better. I zoomed in something like that. Yep, I'm going to shoot that. I like that. That's much better. Oh yeah, I really like this. This is really nice. Check this out. So there's what I just got. There's my exposure information. And there's my histogram. I've got a little bit of the road right in the edge of it, and that'll be easy to clean out. You see how they're backlit, so they just glow. Even though there's no direct sunlight on them, the leaves just really have a nice gloss, just a nice glow to them. There might be some things with this I'm not happy about. Let me look at it again. So I'm going to zoom in some and then scroll through the edges. Actually, that's not bad. Look along the bottom. There's the road right there. But I should be able to Photoshop that out. I'll do that sometimes. I might move forward just a little bit more. Try different, just stepping forward, stepping back, and see if you can clean up things that you don't like rather than having to Photoshop them. So I'm going to try that. So moving forward just a little bit gave me a whole different perspective that I like even more. That's just, to me, that's awesome. I've got these alleys. That's what I'm talking about. There's one there. There's one behind that little tree. There's one over there and over there. You see those? That's just so cool. Oh, look at that. And it's a little underexposed, but it's fine. Let me try to overexpose it just by, well, I'm going to try 2 stops. So there it is. You can see now how the histogram is. That's nice. That's actually much better exposure. And look at how those things just glow. I mean, it's just so nice looking. I'm actually going to try some motion blur, some ICM. That one I just shot back there would make a really good ICM, and I think I'm going to go back and do that. Now, ICM is intentional camera movement. It's where you use a slower shutter speed and you move the camera, and when you have strong vertical lines, it's best to move it up or down, and when you have strong horizontal lines like ocean waves, move it side to side, left or right. But I'm going to go back and I might try one right here and see how it looks, but it's fun to do. And just play around, experiment, and see what you get. Alright, here's one. I don't typically do that long of an exposure. This was 8 seconds, and I panned up and down. Just up and down and up and down. And you see how it gives, you just got these lines and then these like alleys through there. That's pretty cool. I'm going to try it at a shorter shutter speed and see what I get. Plus, I really don't like the sky up in there. I tried not to get it in. I'm going to crop in just a little bit so I don't. So this one was another 8-second exposure, but I went up and down and then stopped for the last like second. It brought in some texture in the leaves and in the tree. So that's a fun one. That's another technique, you know, do some and then stop. It gives it less of a painted look, but still an abstract look. Fun to do. Once that sun goes down, it starts to cool off a lot. You can see the last bit of sun hitting that peak up there. It's the very last bit. It really starts dropping in temperature up here. I'm at about 8,000 feet, maybe 7,500. I'm having a hard time finding some good shots to do some motion blur, some ICM with. Those ones I liked a lot. It takes the right composition, the right group of trees to really get them looking good. I'm going to keep looking, but I'm about ready to go put on a jacket because it's starting to cool off and I don't want to get cold. Sun's gone down. It's sunset's, setting right now, as it were. Sky's got a pink cast to it, but it's going to get dark quick. And so I think I'm going to call it a night. So I'll see you in the morning.
babe, don't you cry. Give your tears to the willow tonight. Let her weep for your worries. She'll kiss them goodbye. Hey, little babe, don't you cry.
Not too cold. It's about 37 degrees. It's not bad at all. 7 a.m. Just getting light enough to start photographing. It's a good night. Staring up at the stars through the trees. Awesome.
So sleep with the sweetest of dreams. May you dance in the light of moonbeams and sing hey diddle diddle with the cat and his fiddle. Sleep with the sweetest of dreams. When you find you can't sleep the night through, and your worries they come back to you, rest your head on the pillow of the leaves from the willow. If you find you can't sleep the night through. Tears to the willow tonight. Let her weep for your worries. She'll kiss them goodbye. Hey, little babe, don't you cry. Hey, little babe, don't you cry.
So this is that spot I was talking about where I've wanted to photograph this. Every time I come down through here, I'm like, I got to come back in the fall. And you just, I mean, look at this. Bring it in some. That's about what I would photograph right there. Maybe just stepping this way a little bit. You see how that changes the perspective of the road. But look at those. Those are aspen trees. And how just all banded they are. They almost look like birch. If the road was really littered with leaves and everything was really yellow. It's starting to happen. I mean, it's better today, I think, than it was yesterday. Though yesterday the sun was behind me when I looked at it, so it's hard to tell. The sun is now coming up that direction. So I just really love this whole glade here. There's not enough color for me. There again, that's kind of a cliche shot with the road winding through, but people love those. I love them. I never get tired of them. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? So this is looking back down into where all the cabins are on the property. You can see some right there. Just beautiful in here. It's not peak. I mean, you can see how great it is up on some of those higher elevations. They're really nice. But the lower stuff down through here is just coming on. I've seen it do this before, where it's mid-October before it's really, really nice in here. So I hope you enjoyed this little adventure. I was just aching to get out. I haven't been out sleeping in my hammock since March or April was when I went into Kodachrome Basin. I've tried a couple times and I got rained out. I'm going to try to come back up here on Friday, Saturday, or just maybe Saturday afternoon and see how things are looking, because the colors will change quickly. When it starts getting cold at night down into the 30s, it'll start changing them fast. So a grove that wasn't very good the day, one day can be really nice the next. So I'm rambling. Not this coming weekend, but the following weekend. I think it's the 13th, 14th, 15th, something like that. I'll be showing my photographs at a cowboy poetry gathering in Heber Valley, Utah, there at the high school. So if you're a local and you want to come see my work in person, come by and see it. I'll have this video out before then. And I'm gonna just continue. I'm almost to the pavement. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and happy trails.